On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we are back with my 2002 Harley-Davidson VRod that I bought cheap. And it turns out I bought it cheap because it needed everything. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Chair Go, and today, like I said, we are back with the VRod. And in the last episode, we went and got the tire and the brake rotor all swapped over. So we are ready to install that on the bike, and we would be just dropping that on right now, lubing it all up with anti-seize and putting the rear end back together. But I had to stop on this bike because it's time to do the one thing I've been dreading for a long time. Loving the new Brembo brakes. They look so cool. Not to mention, they work incredibly well. So you guys know this bike had a giant oil leak. You can actually see that cardboard sitting there to save the floor from the oil leak because it leaks so much oil out of this side cover here. And of course, we have my new slipper clutch, and that needs to go in. So I've been dreading it because the entire exhaust system needs to come off the bike, and that may mean removing all of these beauty covers or just loosening them all up. Heat shields, it's all chrome, of course. It is a Harley, so heat shields are actually beauty covers. And I've just about got it apart. So we're gonna keep taking this thing apart. It's gonna take a while. All this has to come off. Clutch slave has to come back off. Side cover's gotta come off. We gotta tear this whole thing down. And then we can put it back together and this bike will finally be done. Getting the exhaust off of a VRod is a nightmarish job, but I finally got it free with a lot of wiggling, and now we can pull all of these bolts out of the clutch and all these bolts out of the side cover and finally get this off, replace the clutch, replace the seals, and put it back together. There is no world where you should have to pull the worm clamps apart, completely apart, to get the heat shields off an exhaust to get it on and off the bike. You probably don't have to, but there's really no room for the flanges to move if you don't do that. The side cover's off. I gotta tell you guys, these bolts get like Loctited in and then they corrode. So that took a very long time getting all those out with just a hand Allen wrench and a wrench to back it up. So here is the factory clutch. It's all exposed now, and of course I drained the oil before the cover came off so we didn't cause a Exxon Valdez. And this looks like the oil. That is the oil pump. That's pretty cool. So now we have to get this clutch off and get ready to install our Screamin Eagle slipper clutch. I will say this looks incredibly nice, almost like it may have been replaced before. So everything in this case looks super, super nice. Let's keep taking it apart. We're not too far away from dropping in our new clutch. Just need to go get some slip ring pliers and keep working. The way this thing's in here, the more you take apart, the harder it is to get it apart. Taking all that spring tension off of here. This would be quick if we had some power tools over here, I guess.
That should come right out with them bolts.
Okay, I'm with you. It looks like it may explode out too, though. Oh, there it goes. It just went fully loose. Let's get rid of this, upgrade to the faster removal system.
Need an old school speed handle.
Yeah, that would get it done. Or a new school battery powered device. That's my favorite way to get this done. Clutch nut. You gotta have a special Harley-Davidson tool. And that outer snap ring will come out, but you better put an arm in front of it. Pew! Nailed it. How's that bearing feel? Delicious?
That's good.
Yep. Seemed like it'd probably be good. This thing uses a cartridge bearing for the throw out. Pretty cool. Don't tell me you actually need some kind of Harley-Davidson tool.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That would be horrible.
I wouldn't doubt it. Clutch nut. I've never.
I bet it has some counter holding tool when the real thing you need is a snap ring pliers and an impact. Because it appears there's a snap ring right there. Jared's gonna open up our new clutch here. We haven't even seen this yet. And it looks like we just found out this thing is a unit and you replace it as a cartridge. Pretty interesting here. So,
yep, sure is.
Oh, look at that. It even comes with instructions.
Instructions?
Here,
who uses them?
I got it. Those are gone. Cool.
I'll be darned.
We had already figured it out, except for removing that center bolt. So now we're gonna grab some snap ring pliers and a big old socket, and we should have it right out of there. That's pretty cool, I guess.
I can't say I've ever seen a clutch back like that.
Well, this clutch does cost $350 or something, maybe 400.
Covered in cosmoline.
Yep. You'll be fine because we're gonna fill it up with engine oil and then not ride this bike. So it'll just be sitting soaking in the oil for a long time. Oh, look at that. The springs are totally different with the slipper.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, this is a slipper?
Yeah, this is the upgrade.
Huh.
Way better. All right, let's go find a giant socket. All right, let's see if we got this. We do not have the big impact over here. So basically I'm gonna try to counter hold this with my palm, and it's still spinning. I think you need way more impact. I think you need a big boy. Let's try it one more time. Way more impact. I guess we could try that powered 1/2 inch you got.
If this works, I don't want to see nothing in the comments about how the red one couldn't do it, so we had to get the yellow one out.
We had, this is the smallest, this is a 3/8 impact, all right? We just don't have the big red one here. So unfortunately, this is gonna have to try to get it.
Nothing?
Not this, I think it's still too weak. You gotta have the big Milwaukee to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Gotta have it. Maybe I'd have a chance if I could grip the front of this, hold it back to the basket, so it's counter held that way, you know? I'll try it again, but. Or we could just try to shove a screwdriver behind it. Hopefully the throw-out bearing comes out easier than the main nut there on the basket. So, trying to get the snap ring pliers to seat. They don't want to, as per snap ring pliers always are. You need some really small snap ring pliers to get in that.
I mean, this thing, you're not using that. I'd check it up in the vise.
Look at that. Ah, we had it.
Oh, it's out.
Oh, okay. All right, let me give it one more squeeze here, and we should have it out. Try number 38.
Now we got the big boy.
I'm actually worried this one's gonna grab my hand a little bit more.
You might be correct.
Here we go. Ooh, wow.
Negative Ghost Rider.
All right, it finally came out after a lot of work, going to an even heavier impact socket. So now, as soon as you get that nut off, it's like the easiest job in the world.
That is a pretty cool setup.
Yeah, can't be mad about it. This clutch was completely fine. It just wasn't the slipper. But I figured since we had to do the side cover, we just do it all. So let's put in our new one.
And we did all this because you felt like it?
Oh, we did it all because this cover was leaking. You can wipe it if you want, but it's all like fresh engine oil, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, because Harley's just leak.
Yeah. That's the only reason we really changed this is because of the leaks.
How do you put gas in it? That's what I want to know.
Oh, it's under the seat. Yeah, you open the seat.
I told you that.
Well, yeah, but where's the tank at? Is this the tank?
This is the tank.
Oh.
So how does this line up? That's my question.
Very carefully.
You use the biggest hammer you have.
All right, where'd that hammer go?
Ask the iron worker. I'll get her in there.
We'll get it done.
Might not work, but it's in there.
Dog in a wedge.
We're gonna use a brass hammer, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Big brass hammer.
Non-marring.
I actually do think it could use a couple hammer tips.
No, it'll slide in there. You just gotta line all of this up perfectly.
Go.
Don't pull the basket off.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Don't pull the basket off.
You can see the new slipper clutch is installed. We're getting ready to put the nut on. Just waiting for some red Loctite. It'll be here in just a moment. But basically, I just sat here going like this, bumping it back and forth, do the, the four-way cross until the clutch actually slid into the basket, and then you should be good to go. So in a couple of seconds here, we'll get the nut in, put the clip back on it, and reassemble. Well, according to the parts I bought, the leak was actually the stator cover gasket and not the clutch cover. So we got in there, the new clutch is in, and I'm ready to reassemble that. And after a little bit of research on the Vrod forums, we do know that the clutch cover gasket is supposed to be reusable. So I still have it sitting on the clutch cover. Luckily I didn't hurt that thing at all. I took it off pretty carefully. It is a metal gasket with you know, the sandwich of material on there. So we're ready to reinstall that. It's all been wiped down. And now you can see I've got the stator cover off as well. We can inspect the timing chains here. So I got to take a look at the shoes, chains, everything honestly looks really solid inside this engine. And I have a new stator cover gasket right there. So there's the old one. I'm gonna grab a little bit of RTV, put it in the same spots where the factory did, and also put a dab of RTV behind that rubber grommet where the stator wires come out. And that should wrap this up, and I can start putting all the covers back on. I'm actually gonna RTV all the case splits on both sides. Just a little drop should be plenty, and we'll put this thing back together and we can start refilling the oil. After I change the filter. At least I got the oil out of it. We still have to put an oil filter on it. The Vrod is almost done. Both side covers have been changed and resealed. So we've got RTV where all the cases meet. We hopefully have fixed all of the oil leaks. That stator grommet there got a little RTV all the way around it as well. So hopefully it doesn't leak there. We've got the exhaust back on, which takes quite a while to do with the tiny little bites you get to take with your 13 mil wrench in there. So that's back on. I got to do the heat shields. That's going to take quite a while. The rest of the exhaust just needs slipped on, but we can't do it yet. And we can't even start it yet because RTV and oil, I want to give it some cure time. I know it's ultra black. Most people don't give it any cure time, and you know, it usually holds up just fine. But this is a Harley. They're literally known for leaking oil, and this one was leaking oil. We're gonna let the RTV set up overnight. So everything was cleaned up. Hopefully it doesn't leak at all after this. That's the update on the Vrod. Maybe tomorrow we'll get to ride it around the shop. I can tell you where I won't be riding it, and that's outside in the freezing cold. I'm excited to have it done though. I do have to change the brake caliper too. There's a to-do list, I gotta say. This bike got completely rebuilt other than pulling the engine. It's like the only thing we didn't do. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjargo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. We had to call in reinforcements for the clutch basket.
Well, you got the tools.
He's the only guy that had the half-inch Milwaukee with him. So everything else failed. We've talked about it many times. Even the 3/8 Milwaukee failed. You gotta have the big boy. Much to my surprise, the battery is still charged. Listen to this. Oh wait, that's not the direction. Crazy. I was not expecting it to still be ready to roll after being parked for like 3 or 4 months. Good on you, Harley. Your batteries hold up.